Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Hospitality News Middle East, the go-to source for news, reports, interviews, and insights relating to the hospitality and food service industries in the region, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the third Orica Talks of the first day of Orica Lebanon 28th edition. Over the coming days, we will be tackling some of the hottest and thought-provoking topics with leaders, entrepreneurs, restaurateurs, and experts. We encourage you to interact and share stories on these sessions. There will also be a Q&A at the end of each, so please have your questions ready. These talks are co-organized with Odema Consulting Services. Without further ado, I'd like to kick off the talk checking into 2024. How are Lebanon's hotels gearing up for the summer? Which is moderated by the amazing Nada Al-Madzin, managing partner at Odema. It promises to be a very interesting discussion. So I'd just like to introduce you to our wonderful panelists. We'll start with Mr. Samer Abu Alaywi, who's the general manager of the Jaffanor Rotana Hotel. His journey began... Yeah, you can clap. Go ahead, please. We can clap at the beginning and the end, no problem. Yeah. His journey began at the Bristol Hotel. In 2004, he joined the Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts Beirut before shifting to Al Nakhla Residential Resort in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where he served as resort general manager. Samer spent nearly a decade as group general manager at small luxury hotels of the world in Saudi Arabia, then as a partner at the unit consultancy. A round of applause for Mr. Alawi. We have Shireen Salha, shareholder of Phoenicia Hotel Beirut. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. With 25 years of hospitality expertise, Shireen boasts a diverse career spanning the UK, Switzerland, Morocco, and Lebanon. Her extensive background includes pivotal roles at esteemed establishments like Claridge's in London and the Intercontinental Hotel Group. Currently, she offers consultancy services, leveraging her rich understanding of operations, management, and concept development. Thank you for joining us, Shireen. I don't need help with this one. Mr. Georges Ogel, who's the general manager of the Four Seasons Hotel Beirut. Thank you so much for being with us. With extensive hospitality experience, including managing flagship properties and overseeing complex renovation, George is an accomplished hotelier. His skills in operations and project management, as well as crisis management, were put to the test in the aftermath of the Beirut port explosion. Besides his managerial responsibilities, George also lectures at universities and higher education institutions. Thank you for being with us, George. Mr. Nohra? Yes. Mr. Eddie Nohra, the general manager of Staybridge Suites and IHG Hotel. With over 24 years of diverse experience in hospitality management, including overseeing hotels, resorts, F&B concepts, sales, marketing, and revenue strategies, the list goes on and on. Eddie Nohra is a visionary leader. Beyond his capabilities in operations, he is skilled in crisis management and in implementing innovative solutions to enhance business success. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Nohra. Thank you. Mr. Shadi Gedeon, who is the general manager of the Movenpick Hotel and Resort Beirut. Shadi has over 33 years of experience in multi-brand hotels and multinational companies across Europe, Lebanon, the GCC, and Asia. Having lived and worked in France, Lebanon, Kuwait, Thailand, and the UAE, he has adapted to different cultures and work methods. Shadi has been serving as the GM of the Movenpick Hotel and Resort Beirut since 2017. Thank you for joining us today. And last but not least, Mr. Mohammed Yassin, who is the general manager of the Radisson Blu Hotel Beirut Verdun. Mohammed Yassin has over 2 decades of experience in the hospitality sector as a seasoned professional with a focus on pre-opening, management, sales, banqueting, F&B. He has spearheaded numerous successful ventures spanning various countries. Thank you so much. You have an incredible panel today, so I will now hand over to Nada to kick off the discussion, and thank you very much.
Good evening and welcome to our third panel for the day. So I will be starting with our first question. Since you are all Lebanese, we can have a panel English and Arabic, mixed like us.
That's fine.
So I'll ask the question, which is, what about the hospitality sector situation? I have the honor to have leading general managers of hotels in Lebanon. جورج هلا بنرجع لعندك وبسألك على الفور سيزون. سو كيف فيكم تخبرونا وشو فيكم تخبرونا عن الوضع الحالي بالاوتيلات؟ إذا بلش معك.
Currently, I think 2024 is a very difficult year. It has been challenging since October last year. We're managing it with the best possible ways to break even in hotels. The situation is not helping us as hoteliers. So we do hope that by the end of this situation, things will come back very quickly, because we can see when days are a bit quiet, business is coming back in a very quick way.
It's always in Lebanon.
Yes, exactly.
And we are known for our resilience. We had a panel at the beginning with the officials. We were saying, exactly, it's resilience, resilience, resilience. We are known for it, always like facing challenges. But we are Lebanese, so we are used to it. Shireen at Phoenicia, how is it going?
أكيد يعني we all know we've been going through significant challenges. But the thing is, those challenges have persisted and actually intensified at the moment. يعني we're the trend that's been going on for years is one day yes, one day no, one day yes, one day no. And we're managing as best as we can, but the challenge today that is intensifying is, let's say, the lack of credit facilities to renovate, to expand, to innovate, so that you can stay on top of your game. The other challenge is cash flow management, because there's only so much you can sustain and be resilient with. آخر النهار واقعيا يعني اليوم when you have absolutely no credit lines, whether you want to open a letter of credit to bring something imported from outside, whether you want to take a loan to do room renovation or expansion, when you don't have those facilities and all your suppliers are asking to be paid in cash, you became a cash economy, a cash flow. The main challenge we have is the cash flow management.
Currently, Phoenicia is not open full-fledged, right?
No, we have 2 towers open out of the 3 towers. The first one, the initial one that was built in 1961, where you have the eau de vie roof restaurant and the resident suites. The highest tower, the long tower that you see in the U shape, is closed currently.
Hala, we're gonna get back and speak a little bit about who's coming and all of this. Eddie.
يعني مثل ما بقولوا بلبنان بكل عرس قلنا قرص نحن. And unfortunately the hospitality sector is one of the sectors that gets directly affected by any political changes that happens. Luckily 2023 was a very good year, at least till October. That still gives us hope for the summer and for quick recovery, and keeps owners hopeful to sustain the business and to continue. The challenge, definitely, as Shireen said, is cash flow. It's not about any more budget figures where you want to reach. It's about sustaining your current business level and cash flow to reach better days. Hopefully they will be soon. إذا طولوا كتير, it's not that promising.
Shadi, what can you tell us about last summer? We heard that we had lots of people coming. So before October war that started, how was it going at Movenpick?
We actually had a fantastic summer, 2023. And July was like one of the best months since, one of the best July since 2010, we noticed. August was a little bit below. Now we are concerning the crisis. We are used to these kind of challenges. In Lebanon, since 2019, we're suffering. Every year we have something new. Every year we have a new challenge. But the good thing إنه عم نرجع بنوقف على إجرينا. So hoping that this summer will be good. Talking about the main challenges is the utilities, as my colleagues already spoke about, to sustain, to have a good cash flow. But the utilities is becoming very, very challenging. Utilities expenses. And we have a lot of challenges coming from this part and from the taxation from the government that we recently saw some increases also that we were not ready for. So hopefully what happened 2 days ago will just pass by, and then expecting a good summer hopefully.
Samer?
So as my colleague just said as well, I'm the new guy in town, I'm all the new guy in town. But as they said, it's all challenges, but as well we have the challenge of maintaining the talented teams in our properties, especially with a lot of people are going into expats into different GCC and Iraq countries. So that's also another challenge we are facing all of us, we're facing it and I think last summer was excellent. It was my first summer, but again, we are still hopeful. As you said, we're resilient and we're gonna make it. We're gonna keep the faith. So I think this summer will be another great summer, inshallah.
طيب, who is coming to Lebanon? Who is filling your hotels? We had like in the previous session, the planes are full. So are they coming to stay with you?
The planes are full, but the number of flights have diminished.
True.
And you have a lot of airlines that are not allowed to fly into Lebanon. So هذا منه معيار مزبوط يعني if they're full, it doesn't mean we have the enough inflow to fill our rooms. نحن we've always been an attraction for مثل ما بنقول نحن العربين يعني we're seeing Qataris and Kuwaitis. I'm talking نحن بالفينيسيا. We have a good segment of Qataris and Kuwaitis. We have a good segment of Iraqis as well, especially with the sea view. They like to have sea view. It's not true that they always stay in Hamra and budget hotels. Some of them actually most of them prefer the sea views. A lot of Syrians, don't forget, نحن we act as a transit hub for them as well. Wherever they want to travel, they stop for a night or two. The Egyptian segment was still okay, but it used to be heavier, especially with the mice. But since the devaluation, they've decreased a little bit. And Jordanians, despite Gaza, we're still seeing a few Jordanians.
Are we seeing Europeans?
Europeans من بعد غزة خفوا. Last summer we had quite a few, especially from Spain, a little bit of France and UK. We had a good number of visitors from Latin America. This is due to the diaspora اللي موجودة هونيك وبلشوا يعملوا awareness أكتر about Lebanon. So أنا شخصيا شفت a good number of Brazilian, Mexicans, Argentinians. هيدولي ما بظن هالصيفية حنشوفهم, especially that they plan their holidays well in advance, and we didn't receive any requests from such countries. Again, كمان Europeans, as you أكيد كلهم بيوافقوا معي, ما في منهم بيكونوا أصلهم لبناني بس with a foreign passport.
But in 2023, we have seen some Scandinavians in Beirut, and that's a market that we didn't really
that
see
we
it
never
before.
had before.
Most of the Europeans that we have are Lebanese, who have a European passport, but we are all sharing the same nationality mix. So this nationality mix is spreading all over.
Was Scandinavian for leisure? They were here for
yes,
leisure?
yes. Norwegians. It was very nice to see them.
هلا your hotel used to be very much known to be hosting Jordanians. Are we still seeing the same?
We see now Qataris, Kuwaitis, Jordanians, and Egyptians, and and a lot Syrians because of the transit, as what was mentioned just before. But yes, it's the same traffic.
Okay. Samir, Hamra is known that there are lots of Iraqis who like to stay in Hamra. Are they still coming? Shireen is saying they come as well and
They love the sea view.
they love the sea view.
We have our colleague here from Arjan as well. So firstly, they fill in the Arjan hotels as rotanas. But as well, they are still coming to Hamra, especially for the medical side, for coming to AUB, MC, and the CMC. We are still seeing them. But as Jeffinor, mainly our main clientele were from Europe, as Jeffinor Rotana. But now, because whatever Shireen said, because of the restrictions, we are not seeing them anymore. We saw last year as well a lot of people coming from Latin America, especially with the Middle East flying via Madrid. And it was great. And maybe the diaspora, yes, whatever they saw on social media helped us a lot. Iraqis are still coming. We saw them a lot during the Eid period. And as Shireen said as well, they are very high spenders and they prefer always the sea view rooms at our hotel. And so the first thing we're at Eid, we're full at sea view rooms. But again, what happened 3 days ago vanished everything.
Eddie وشادي.
Yeah, these nationalities, we saw these nationalities during the summer, we witnessed Qataris, Kuwaitis, Iraqis, though the Iraqis are very price sensitive, so we have a little bit challenge with our average rate. Jordanian, Egyptian, all these nationalities were affected with especially the mice business that completely stopped since October. We also noticed a lot of a big drop in there is no more European business in town, but we witnessed a good increase in European market during the summer. Hopefully it will come back again.
Long term عندك؟
Yeah, long term, this is where we differ a bit from our colleagues here. But something is for sure that we all share the same market sources and feeders to Lebanon. يعني البلدان المرتاحين نفسيا يجوا على لبنان هن ذاتهم, and this is where the main business drive. I differ best. I have a big section of Lebanese expats. When they come in summer, they
come and
present
stay
a
with
big
you.
portion. مش حابين يفتحوا بيوتهم, يتكلفوا generators, internet, and so forth. So I gain a lot. The rest, إذا ما ناخدهم ورا بعضهم, Egyptian, Jordanian, Iraqi, Kuwaitis, and Qataris. This is the main feeders.
قبل ما اسال جورج عن شو عم بيصير بالبنايه وبالرينوفيشن، بدي اسالكم كلكم قديش عم تستفيدوا انه الفور سيزون مسكر؟ قد ايه عم تقدروا تاخذوا بزنس؟ بركي جارتك اكثر شيء حدك فينيسيا بتقولي لنا.
بيستاهلوا
Il faut dire. Il faut dire انه نحن مش عايشين لانه فور سيزونز مسكر. كان الفينيسيا عم يشتغل كثير منيح قبل، ونحن كان عندنا كنا مميزين اكشلي بالدبلوماتيك والجفرمنتال سيكتور. بس محمسين كثير على الاوبننج تبع الفور سيزون، لانه انا ام جريت بليفر انه the supply will create the demand. سو ناطرينكم مناطره، ناطرين لوغري مناطره، ناطرين كل الاوتيل، لانه it is when it is there that the people will come.
Can I add something on this?
اكيد.
There's a beautiful saying in town. They say when the Phoenicia is doing well, the country is doing well, and we all want to have the country doing well. So I would be I'd be very happy to see the Phoenicia always fully booked.
كلياتنا. عم بلاحظ في عنا بعتقد بالحضور اذا ماني مغلطه شفت روي بوغاريوس، حيكون في عنا اوتيل جديد كمان حيفتح بجون. روي هلا كان
هو على
هون.
اليمين هون.
هاي روي. سو كمان عنا اوتيل جديد we're gonna welcome soon بجون، right? Just كمان in front of Phoenicia. The ex Morro. جريت جورج، حارجع لعندك. بتخبرنا شوي على الترانسفورميشنال بلان اللي عندكم اياها، شو عم بيصير ريلي هلا بالرينوفيشن وبكل يعني كل الناس عم تسال شو عم بيصير بالفور سيزون.
To start with, thank you for allowing me on this. I'm going to give some of a background to that.
Please do.
To start with, when the port blast happened, the hotel has been severely damaged. And then when we were at a point to address the problem, there were two approaches. Either we restore what we had with eventually taking into consideration the ethical point of the glass shattered everywhere, or renovating it. The renovation, considering the company standards, they evolved with time. I'm going to give an example. At the time, we were allowed to have a TV on a cabinet. Today, we're not allowed to have other than a media wall. So all of this led us to fully renovate the property and add to it some transformational approaches. On the public area, for example, there's a full transformational approach on food and beverage. So if I believe everyone recalls the lobby. So there won't be any lobby anymore. There will be a brasserie. The second floor restaurant will be 4 concepts under the same roof. The 26 will be transformed to a different type of bar, while we're adding, as we speak, 2 additional floors, 27 and 28, that we're building as we speak.
So it will no longer be the rooftop.
No, actually, there will be a Peruvian restaurant on the 27th and a sky lounge on top of it. This is from a food and beverage perspective. When it comes to the rooms, they're going to be fully renovated, different type of product. But looking into the macro factors, the dynamics impacting the economy, the country, it's not easy, especially with the non-issuance of the technical report of the blast. So we weren't indemnified till now. So the board is pumping money. And to reopen a Four Seasons, we need a 9-digit figure. And this is something that is not rendering our job easy, especially with everything happening in the region. But as we say in French, on va continuer à se battre, on va pas baisser les bras. I think by mid next year, we have an opportunity to welcome you in a very, very beautiful product. However, don't quote me on this. The official announcement on the reopening will come from the press room in Four Seasons.
Definitely.
Hala, we're all forgiving. We all know that things get delayed, but we're hoping for as soon as possible. Yani it means the country is doing well.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
We just heard from George about the different food and beverage concepts that are gonna come to the hotel when it opens. Can you tell us more about food and beverage? Food and beverage in Lebanon, at hotels in particular, has always been very sensitive. Yani, we're known, the restaurant of the hotel is usually an all-day one. We're seeing with Phoenicia that you have been opening a new outlet, which is Noura Cafe. So we are leasing, basically, your outlet. Is the strategy of food and beverage for hotels have changed, and why?
بلش.
Who should start?
Who should?
No, who should start?
Who wants to start?
أنا I can.
Go ahead.
يلا شيرين.
أنا إذا سلمتوني الميكرو ما بينزل. هلا الفود and beverage in hotels is a different ball game than food and beverage as an يعني independent outlet. أول شيء obviously عندك services ما موجودة بمطعم room service, banqueting, mini bar, all day dining, الأوضة اللي بدها تكون breakfast بدها تتحول غدا بدها تتحول عشاء. غير إنه الزبون اللي قاعد عندك عنده let's say touch points بهال-experience several times during his stay. مش مثل بمطعم بيفوتوا بيظهروا. He's expecting a seamless experience فيهم كأنه فايت يعمل check in بهالسهولة. كيف يعمل check in in 2 minute 1 minute 2 minutes نفس الاكسبيرينس بده اياها بالفود and beverage. So اللي مطلوب بإدارة المطاعم بأوتيل غير عن an individual restaurant. وبنفس الوقت بتقولي لحالك يمكن المطاعم بالاوتيلات ما كانت عم تبرع هالقد لانه نحن عم نديرها باوتيل. لازم نديرها ك independent restaurant that just happens to be in a hotel مع الاندبندنت بادجت تبعها مع اوتونومي اكثر تمن فوت بكل البروسيجرز تبعول الريكروتمنت والبيرتشيسينج. يمكن هيدا هو السر we don't know كل اوتيل نجح بطريقه، بس اللي هو فور شور انه البريد اند باتر تبع الاوتيل هو نحن شغلتنا نبيع اوض قبل مطاعم. المطاعم هن سبورت سيستم، وكل ما كان كبير الاوتيل كل ما عايزه مطاعم، لانه اذا عم تجيبي جروبات بدك تقدري تطعميهم، بدك اذا كان عندك كونفرنسز اكزاكتلي، ومش بس بمحل واحد، محلين اما ثلاثه، لانه بدهم يغيروا كل يوم. واذا عندك اوتيل مثل بالفينيسيا 500 اوضه، بدك بريكفاست روم مثل ما نحن بنسميها الاول داي دايننج، تقدر تاخذ بالقليله 60% كاباسيتي اذا عندك انت كمان دبل الاوكيبنسي. طب هالصاله شو بتعملي فيها بعدين؟
Exactly.
You know how it has to be able to serve you again for lunch and serve you again for dinner بلا ما تكوني based على البريكفاست فوليوم. So يعني one size does not fit all. الترندز هلا اللي عم نشوفها نحن all over the world مش بس بلبنان هن البارتنرشيبس والكولابوريشنز with brands اما celebrity chefs. exactly. الفور سيزونز معروفين كانوا، انا وقتها كنت عم بتعلم وعم فتح عيوني على الهوسبيتاليتي، كانوا يعطونا الاكزامبل تبع الفور سيزونز انه الفور سيزونز فوكسينج اون رومز مش على الاف ان بي، لانه عرفوا انه the core of their business is rooms. So كانوا المطاعم اللي بلشت كبراندد or with celebrity chefs بلشت من هونيك. و this is the trend. هلا في اوتيلات العالم تصير تقصدها كرمال المطعم تبعها. لاس فيغاس مثلا، بلاس فيغاس عندك كثير مطاعم، سواء نوبو اكبر نوبو in the world، عندك بدبي، عندك بالاتلانتس. So that the hotel can become a destination due to the culinary experience that they're giving.
Shadi.
I think the question is not the F&B, is the outlets, not the F&B, because F&B is very important. We need to have the F&B, the banquet, the weddings, the corporate meetings, the room service. This is very important for the hotel. I think the question is the outlets, and to be honest, we have a lot of very good competition with the standalone restaurants in town. We have fantastic restaurants. It's very difficult to compete with these restaurants because, as Shireen said, they have a completely different approach for the F&B. They don't have to follow the company standards. They don't have to follow the PR standards and everything. And it's very difficult to compete with these. And also, very important, I mean, I've been in different countries. I worked in different countries. People, they don't like to enter the hotels for their restaurant. They are scared from the hotels. That's why a hotel restaurant has to be very extraordinary, very something
unique
to attract people. Now, at the Movenpick Beirut, we have, I think you all know this fantastic rooftop that we have. So this is not really considered as an hotel restaurant or a hotel outlet, because people are coming from outside. We're trying now, we open a seafood restaurant at the end of the summer. We're going to relaunch it now. We have a lot of F&B outlets that can help for the in-house people, but mainly it has to be unique to attract people from outside.
Okay, I think for Rotana, and you want to add something, Eddie?
If I may.
Yes.
I'm a person who's seen the two sides of the coin. Yani. I've worked in full-fledged hotels with extensive F&B outlets, and now I'm running a limited service hotel. I'm going to talk from a business module perspective. Shireen said something very true, which is we're in the rooms business. This is our core business. And if we look at our profitability, this is where the main profitability is driven in hotels. When we put the F&B in, we unfortunately, the outlets in the F&B are not the trend anymore in hotels. الشباب بالسوق الله يقويكم. أعطيه خبزك للخباز لو أكل نصه. يعني the concepts that are available in the market, the variety in one street, the quality of service, chapeau bas. يعني people really want to live the local culture rather than being secluded in a hotel. So unfortunately, F&B and in our P&Ls and profit and loss statements when we conducted, it's too vague. you see that whatever profit you make, and which is insignificant, still is not allocated for it the maintenance, the utilities, the HR, the sales efforts. Why? Because they are all hidden costs that are bared by the overall profit and loss statement of the hotel. So unfortunately, I believe the future of F&B on a personal basis, for hotels, they should venture and have a joint venture with brand names available in the market that has already their clients, their big portfolio, they have established themselves, and they can do a far better job in reaching the clients and the market than hoteliers can do, unfortunately, these days.
I'm gonna go back to you, George. You are going to be launching a newly renovated Four Seasons, and you just announced that you're going to be adding many F&B concepts. So hearing your colleagues here, we see that we have different points of view. Definitely hotels profit comes from rooms, etc. So how can you answer what you're going to go and do at the Four Seasons?
So going back to Shireen's point, the approach in ultra luxury or upscale luxury hotels would be eventually driving revenue and profits from rooms. However, a hotel, regardless of the level of luxury known for, it is practically well benchmarked due to the level of restaurants. I'm gonna give a small example. Four Seasons George Cinq, when you have Christian Lusquer with 6-star Michelin. So the approach within the company would be eventually providing epic food and beverage outlets that would deliver unique products and would take you on a journey, because eventually in luxury, what we sell memories. We sell memories that people take home and then try to come back where we made them feel happy, satisfied. So the approach of food and beverage would be to, I won't say anticipate, but to wow guests in a way, whereas this would backfire and impact the rate, the average rate. That's why we look into eventually year over year increasing our RevPARs in a way that would reach, I'm going to give an example. Last year, Four Seasons has increased year over year more than 18% globally on RevPAR. But if we look into, for example, Four Seasons London, this is because of having Yannick Aleno. Eventually, an outlet with Yannick Aleno won't make much money. But when you take your average rate from 1,200 pounds to 2,000, 2,200 pounds, eventually you will cover the cost and keep people coming. So this is probably the approach we're adapting when it comes to upscale luxury property. It's not driving profit out of food and beverage significantly just to cover the cost, because if you take it as a standalone business point, and then you impact it with your amortization, depreciation, cost of utilities, it's practically a loss. So this is the approach in upscale luxury we're adopting.
I totally agree with what Mr. George is saying. Yes, definitely, it is an added value. It will push your rates up. But again, it has to be مثل ما كنا عم بقول following the vision of the hotel. يعني luxury مثلا كيف الوان and only بدبي مع مدام بيك. And not your average standard all-day dining restaurant.
Muhammad.
With us,
Yes.
all-day dining is the base, especially being in Beirut, with the amount of restaurants in town, with the brands and the quality, we do prefer to maintain.
And you are in a mall, attached to
We're in a mall.
actually.
You have a lot of options. You've got Shogun with us. We've got McDonald's. You've got different options. And you can see that people still, when they come to Beirut, بدنا نروح عند Sharif, بدنا نروح, they know where to go. So
They have
for us,
their,
creating restaurants and new concepts is not what we are looking for in Beirut.
Samer.
I think the issue of hotels and restaurants is not only in Beirut, it's mainly in GCC. I will tell about a story about my experience in Riyadh. We opened a new concept of a Lebanese restaurant like 10 years ago, and we kept the restaurant has its own P&L, has its own manager. Definitely is reporting to the general manager of the hotel. But I think we in hotels, we are not good in two things. We don't follow the trends always. As George said, it has to be an epic experience. People love to see the trendy places. They want to see happening things. They don't want to see always an all-day dining. So this is the first things we did wrong with hotels. Second is like when you hire a chef for this restaurant, it has to be a chef, an executive chef level. And we can't do it, unfortunately, in our structures in hotels because you know what? Because of the structures of the salaries at the hotels. So that's why you go to a restaurant in Dubai and you see a manager for the restaurant for a $10,000 basic salary. And you see a chef there with $10,000 basic salary. This we can't do at a hotel level unless it has to be a different entity. And this is where the creativity is. It's like when you pay something and you'll be getting at the end of the day around it. And it's not only in Beirut. Trust me on this. It's happening everywhere. People want to go to see the trendy places. They want to see and to be seen. And they want to see Instagrammable dishes and Instagrammable experience. Thank you.
But probably that comes as well as that falls because hoteliers have in mind that this is an all-day restaurant. We do not generate lots of money. So they have as well a tendency to neglect it in a way
It's
or
not
another.
neglecting. We were like in a status quo at it. I can say at Four Seasons, at the Jumeirah, they brought in the best 4 restaurants from all over the world and they placed it just in front of the hotel and they kept the all-day dining and they have a beautiful all-day dining experience. But however, they have Nusret, they have Koya, they have an Italian.
Scalini.
So they got the best. So definitely, we will not be making, as Muhammad said, we will not be making better hummus than Im Sharif. Maybe we will, but people wants to go and to see and to be seen and to be Instagrammable and so on.
If we shift to events, we're seeing so many weddings happening in Lebanon, big ones, and that didn't stop. I don't think that no matter what the situation, the instability that we live in, we are always seeing weddings and events happening. How much does it generate revenue for your hotels? Phoenicia, Movenpick, for all of the ones that have banquet rooms.
This is what drives their profit in F&B.
So basically, banqueting is what is.
Yes.
And did you see like really the trend of weddings? And at one time, we were having like the small size weddings.
هيدي كانت بوست كوفيد بوست اكتوبر 19 وبعدين بوست كوفيد بس هلا no weddings are back. We have a lot of weddings for this summer. The number is increasing and they're going for a lot of indulgence and extravagance حتى بالdecoration وبالentertainment. So this is back. It went, يعني understandably the last 3 years it shrank. Actually a funny thing لأنه weddings shrank. Apparently the number of births went down لأنه at school they were complaining and ما عندهم enough registrations for the first year comers لأنه there was a drop in babies for the last 3 years. هيدي entre parenthèses. بس ايه هلا كمان the trend is changing in banqueting يعني عم بتصير أكثر interactive. They're asking for more live station. They're asking for more interaction with the chefs. بطل فيها stuffiness in buffet styles or in a la carte. So the trend is going to something more familiar, let's say. وغير الweddings كمان الconferences والمايس هلا let's not say they're back. But the added value of Phoenicia إنه you have enough number of rooms within the same category لأنه بهيك events لما يصير في حساسية بيطلبوا تقريبا the same number of categories. So we're privileged to be able to cater to that market.
It doesn't have. I have a medium-sized ballroom for weddings. It's working well. What we realized in 2023 is that we received a lot of weddings from abroad. So there was Egyptian weddings in Beirut, and that was very beneficial for hotels. We had nearly 2 or 3, and I think this is a trend that's coming. If the situation calms down, people would like to come down and do weddings over here.
And that will fill up your rooms as well.
Of course.
George, how much sustainability and technologies are going to be important at the Four Seasons with the renovation?
He's the guy that making me pump millions of dollars. So if you know him, catch him. Well, actually, you cannot dissociate sustainability from technology. And technology is evolving as we speak very fastly. I'm going to give a small example rather than being hypothetical. So today we're implementing an initiative whereas every guest, when he or she lands in the airport, they can access their room and check in remotely from the airport without passing by the front desk, opening the door with their phone, and eventually controlling everything from their phone, from the temperature, the mood of the lighting, so on and so forth. And with this guest room management system that has sensors in the rooms, we will try to manage our cost of utilities. So when you don't see any motion in the room, the AC will shut down or drop, the lighting would shut down, and then this will allow sustainability. Eventually, all those initiatives that we're implementing come at a cost, but this is an investment that we will actually recuperate on the long run. So this is one of the initiatives, for example, that we're implementing as we speak, and he's the guy doing it. So he takes the credit.
There are two who raised their hands. We have two.
The other one he pays.
Okay.
Yeah, and I agree. And sustainability today makes financial sense. Yani before we used to do it just to tick a box. We're being sustainable, especially with all the pressure of the millennials, the new generation that's very focused on sustainability in their selection. بس انه it proved to be financial sense. مثلا بيكون عندك الانترفيس between your quality management system and your PO and your opera system. Whenever the room is vacant, it regulates to a 24 degree. نحن بالفينيسيا يعني beyond the plastic straw خلصنا منهم الكارد اللي بتحطيها على recycling of the linen إذا بدكم تغسلوا حطوهم بالباطب إذا لا أرجعوا علقون etc. We're past that now. في كل ال glazing which is grade A يعني هدول UV repellent, so you're better able to monitor your cooling and your heating within the room. We're phasing out gradually كمان كل الفريونز بالrefrigeration. في عندك harmful gases that بيطلعوا من refrigeration. So we're using now eco-friendly, slowly eco-friendly freons in all the refrigeration. LED lights. I think all hotels are going now for 100% LED lights. وأكيد عندك كل البيودeggradables product that we're using. هدول صاروا بطلوا exceptions, صاروا the norm and the standard in every hotel that's trying to be sustainable.
Okay, I'm gonna pass to another very hot subject, manpower. شو عم بيصير? How are you able to retain your employees? What is happening at that front? بعدنا مأخرين لنفتح for season, but you're gonna be facing this as well regarding employees and so on. So what are you doing? How are you managing? You have like a very يعني July you said last year was as good, even better than 2010. So how are you sourcing the employees?
It is actually it's very challenging. The recruitment, hiring, and retaining talents, and honestly, since we witnessed since the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of employees were moving to. I mean, since the economic crisis started, a lot of people were moving to the Gulf because they were getting the full fresh dollars. The competition was the challenge was we were competing within each other's. So taking employees from each other. So that was the only source of employment. Retention, it was very difficult to retain people because at the same time, the P&L, the profit and loss statement of the hotel was very challenging. So it was not easy to increase the salaries or to pay full salaries in fresh dollars. So retention was very challenging, and hiring is still very challenging. So now, since last summer, we started to feel that people are coming back to, employees are coming back to Lebanon. Let's see this summer how it will go.
We used to be having lots of foreigners coming and working in Lebanon. You are all international operators, so are you having appetite from teams who are working at other hotels to come and work in Beirut, or it's over? Those days are over.
I would say not for the time being, but maybe it's in the future, because it's very important and very exciting to have some external eye coming from outside. Like if you go to Dubai, you see the hotels, you see the restaurants are very creative. They have the latest trends. So it's very, very nice to have these people coming and bringing their know-how and the new trends. But for the time being, we cannot afford it, honestly.
It's difficult, and I think it's going to get more difficult with the opening of the beach resorts and the restaurants at the beach. They are going to grab a lot of employees, and I think very soon, I do believe, hotels will go back and pay the 100% to retain their employees. There is no options. A lot of employees have gone to Iraq. Is a very big market for Lebanese guys and girls. Riyadh has taken a lot of people, and I think we're going to face a challenge with the opening of the new hotels also, because there is so many properties planning to open soon. So I think it's going to be challenging summer. If the business comes back, we will have an issue.
Hala, we're gonna speak about summer, George.
You know, with every challenge, there's an opportunity. And then, yes, I do understand that we're going to be in a kind of a talent war. Everybody's trying to steal from anybody. But why don't we look into as well developing talents? We go to universities sometimes and then we lecture courses, or we just, speak to students, and we see how demotivated they are. How, I would say, they're hopeless about the situation in the country. However, if we look into what our ancestors were doing decades after decades, I think we have an opportunity developing those youngsters once again to fill the gaps, and we try to grow them from within. Yes, I do understand the fact that having, I would say, expats would add to the workforce. But why don't we look into developing those youngsters that every time we go to those universities, we see how hopeless, how devastated they are, and that they're just thinking on how to leave the country, while we are at war trying to get talent. And this is very important. And then there's another thing that I would like to highlight. Every time we speak about the opening of the hotel, people think that we're gonna go and try and steal from others. My predecessor, who's proudly is currently the president of Four Seasons Asia Pacific, Rami has made actually a promise at the time when we had to shut down the property. We have made a promise to bring back everyone who's eligible to be brought back after the reopening. And then with what we're striving to now, trying to review the packages and the benefits we're offering to our people, I think we're going to be easily bringing back more than 70% of the previous workforce, which is going to be plug and play, because we're going to be cutting as well on the cost of training. And I think, in a way or another, I do understand the situation now and the challenges, but looking into as well, diffusing hope into those youngsters could be an opportunity as well. And then probably we need to work on it all together.
Thank you, George. I think we're running out of time, so I'm going to take a last round of, if you can tell us about the new projects, if you have new projects upcoming, and how are you getting ready for the summer?
So, as Jeff, Rotana, we are not having any more projects for the time being. We're just renovating the top floor, the pool, and we are reopening it for the summer. Other than this, we are just hoping that this crisis will go through it, inshallah, together. Thank you.
Shadi, how about the renovation that is going on at the movement?
Yes, very interesting question. And we've obviously we took advantage of the situation. Unfortunately, since October, we're having a full renovation for the hotel.
A full renovation,
full renovation
rooms,
for the rooms. Lobby will start soon, but the rooms were almost ready with it. As I mentioned, we're going to have some outlets, new outlets opening and the renovation as well. We did a lot of A lot of projects on the structure of the hotel, engineering structure, like generators, water-cooled chillers, lot of upgrade on technology as well. So we took advantage of this. We're ready. Let's hope.
Eddie.
نحن we're gonna redefine long stayers experience in Lebanon. We already signed for a full renovation. Designs have been approved. We received today the schematics, the BOQs in order to proceed. We're really taking the property to a different level in terms of long-term stayers and long-term experience.
So we're gonna go back to being a long-term stay.
We
hotel?
are still. Market
No, I mean,
shifts a bit,
yeah.
but the main feeder is still long-term. But the entire property is scheduled for a full renovation, from the lobby to the rooms, rooftop, all-day dining, and every single aspect of it. Hopefully, the summer will keep us hopeful and on track in order to submit it and start with the project before the end of the year. Inshallah.
Excellent. Shireen, I think you answered.
And if I keep doing what I'm doing for the coming 2 years, I'm going to become an engineer.
I think so too.
And I was thinking about what Mr. George was saying. It's like history repeating itself. I'm بحكي about the talent. When Phoenicia first opened, we had, I remember lines and lines of people applying for work. بعدين يوم ترجع بتطلع إنه وين ما تبرمي بتلاقي حدا بيقول لك يا أنا خريج فينيسيا أنا خريج فينيسيا. With Four Seasons opening, يعني with the Rolls Royce of hospitality, I see this happening again, and I see, inshallah, the lines of queues, and I commend you on the effort of not retaining, but actually bringing back talent. This is the best thing that we can do. Thank you.
We have to, really, we have to.
Hamad?
We as a hotel, it's still brand new. It's in a very good shape. The good thing is that we are announcing a new property in Lebanon. Hopefully by this summer, we're
This
taking
summer?
a new resort outside Beirut.
Oh.
A very nice resort getting built.
So can you tell us more about it?
I
since we are
cannot,
at Orica?
unfortunately. On the second hand, we're still looking at a Radisson Red in the middle of downtown. We're at the final discussions. That's going to be a very nice lifestyle property. And they should announce them within the coming period.
So we
Thank
have
you.
investors still interested in Lebanon. Thank you so much.